Hi, this is Isabel, and I want to thank you uh, for being here today. I wanted to talk about briefly about the yin and yang in the matrix. Um, I just want to let you know that these are my personal opinions. If you have any suggestions or you would like to add any comments about how you feel about what I'm going to be able to share on my experience, you're freely and welcome to post your comments underneath the video. A lot of people talk about the yin and yang. A lot of people um, uh, have heard what the yin and yang is, okay? Which is supposed to have, which is called the spiritual balance. In my personal opinion, the yin and yang works once our emotions are stable, they have been normalized through healing. When we're able to speak our truth, when we are able to set healthy boundaries, and we are able to act with no fear. And a lot has to do with healing, because when we are in the process of healing, or we're just becoming awakened to our spirit, when we're just becoming awakened on our spiritual journey, sometimes we have our emotions unbalanced, and this is due to trauma and also soul contracts, that we carry, and whatever has been imprinted in our DNA before reincarnation from previous past lives. When we have our emotions unbalanced, we usually work, and act on fear, which means we don't communicate effectively, which I believe is one of the riddles on the matrix when it comes to becoming who you are, effective communication. And I would like to later on probably talk about other things that it has come to my awareness when it comes to healing and the way that we perceive things. And also it will help you to understand other people's behaviors. And not in vain, there is a saying that, that God has grant us the serenity to understand, things that we cannot change. And this happens when, it comes to us dealing with sometimes family members and people that we love, because when we wake up to the truth that sometimes, we live in dysfunctional relationships, we also deal with generational dysfunctionality. And some, as we heal, some of our family members are still, in their process. Sometimes they're not even aware, of the way that they act, And what we need to, I understand that it's very hard sometimes because we need to keep ourselves grounded. And, and sometimes, you will fall back due to, to triggers. But we have to understand that we were there in one point, and sometimes our family members or friends or people that we don't know, they're not able to understand sometimes, the way that they act. Like it's like explaining something to someone like 1+1 is 2, and they don't understand, or explaining several times to somebody about something that for anybody else could be easy to understand. They have a hard time understanding because there's something that I believe, that needs healing. And it happened to me with my logical reasoning, and, previously, and, where people, I had to be asking several times, about something that they were, explaining to me, and I wasn't able to grasp it. That's why I always encourage, everyone, it doesn't matter the age, to work with crafts and arts, anything, with your hands, because I think we can heal through doing things with our hands, and also dancing, singing, and practicing any kind of sports. I think it's very healing for our DNA and our body. So the yin and yang is that your emotions in balance. When you're able to, as a woman, to be able to speak your truth, like if, usually when we discover, that we have been living in dysfunctionality and we have been living pleasing people, because of the lack of self-worth. A lot of people said, that when it comes to, it's easy for me to understand that sometimes people said you need to love yourself, but love yourself is not being it's not in a narcissistic way. Loving ourselves is to understand how valuable we are as human beings, to understand that as how we have been created by God, we are, you know, we are in our full potential, that, we need to accept who we are, the way that we were created, with our eyes, our skin color, the tone of our voice, the way that we walk. This is it. That's it. You need to love yourself because you are unique. Otherwise, we wouldn't be different. Everybody looks different because we are unique as we are, how God created us. And we need to accept who we are. We don't need to please anybody. And when it comes to women, sometimes we're always trying to, when we get involved in dysfunctional relationships, we're trying to please men, as how we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to dress, or how we're supposed to carry ourselves. When it comes to how we do our hair, we put our makeup, whoever is going to love you is going to accept you as you are. Okay, that's something that I have a clear understanding. There was times in my life that, where I got involved in relationships that not only shave me for the way that I look or the way that I will carry myself, put my makeup on. And now is the day that if somebody, wants to have a relationship with me, which I'm, which I don't think about, honestly involving myself in a relationship, because I love the way that my life is evolving. I'm very into my art. I'm always creating at home, and doing things that I like, because, I have pleased people, in my ex relationships so much that I'm able to be free. But if I was to be involved in a relationship, that person needs to understand that I love the way that I am, that I'm a very simple person, that I'm not here on this earth to please anybody. If they want to go look for, for a woman that looks like like how can I explain to you, with the exact body measurements, and looking, their nails done and their hair done every day. I'm not. I'm an artist, and I love to be, free, and I love to. Of course, there's women that can do that, and no judgment. But when it comes to myself and my, the way that I have been evolving, I like to keep myself true, and whoever's going to love me is going to send me as I am. And we shouldn't be pleasing. I mean, when we get involved with men, sometimes we don't tell them, like if sometimes they, maybe, they don't look like they don't look like a, like a model, and we accept, and we're not pointing at, whatever we don't like, or whatever we think is less attractive. But it's another thing too. When we get involved in relationships, the best thing to do is to get to know the person, and because once you get to know the person, I'm pretty sure that there's beautiful things about the person, that it doesn't have that it doesn't have to be measured by looks or wealth or any interest, because as far as I know, the only thing that lasts in this life is love. So when you get in a relationship with somebody that fully understands you and accepts you and is reciprocal, then you can have a balanced relationship with a person, because it's only based on love and not interest. And then when it comes to men too, there's a lot of men, out there, that I really feel sad, honestly, for the men, also, because they're trying to please narcissistic women, their emotions are totally shut down when it comes to pleasing them, and that's why I always, and I don't mind to be redundant when it comes to relationships. It is very important that not only men and women, don't look for looks. Do not look for looks, because, okay, I'm not saying, go and date somebody that you don't like. No, I'm saying, when you date somebody, try to date somebody that you both will enhance each other's lives, and somehow, because it's always, to be able to have a relationship, you want to be able to have somebody who can, that you can, take walks and exercise and go to the movies, and do fun things with a person, be able to laugh, be able to dance, be able to express how you feel without somebody telling you, oh, you're too emotional, or men don't cry. No, you're able to have somebody who you can express your feelings without any judgment and evolve as a couple. That's what I think. And I think that's when it comes to the yin and yang, that's when our emotions are balanced, we are speaking from the truth, we're on, we have been healed from, trauma and abuse, and we're able to, to communicate effectively with no fear. But remember too, once you heal, you will understand the pattern of dysfunctionality, and you are not going to be attracting men or women that are dysfunctional, because you will be vibrating in another vibration energy. You will be able to recognize, the red flags on somebody who's needy, on somebody that always, tells you, usually the red flags are somebody, when we meet somebody, and that person, has a lot of issues, work issues, dysfunctionality with so many, partners. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. And we should not judge, because once we become awoken, we will understand that these person, these people, they're going through a lot of trauma too. But we cannot judge them and mistreat them either. We just need to be compassionate, understand that they need healing too. And what we can do is we can pray for these people so they can find the light, and, the help, if we can be kind with words, and if we can coach them, even though sometimes they won't understand. When you try to coach them, they will fall back, on their behavior and the way that they think, because there's a lot of work. Healing is a lot of work. I'm not saying that it's an easy road, but it's worth it, because your mind will change completely. You will be able to understand the way that people act and behave, And most of these issues are, not being conscious, Christ consciousness, not being conscious about their act. Most of these people, they hurt other people because they're not conscious. They don't feel any empathy, which empathy is bigger. If you have compassion, in your heart and who you are, and you have compassion for the animals, for the people, for anything, that's the only one you can experience love, because you feel compassion, you feel love for another human being, animal, or anything that, has feelings, even plants. So to wrap this up, I just wanted to let you know that the yin and yang is the balance of our emotions when we display our feminine side when it comes to men, okay? Be able to feel and express their emotions, and we women, express being caring and loving towards men, and our masculine side when we women are supposed to, put healthy boundaries, in abusive relationships and say no, walk away. And in men, when they're be able to love women unconditional without any agendas. I hope this has helped you, and I wish you a beautiful day. I will be uploading any more videos in reference to some things that I see when I read usually, read platforms, and I see people commenting, and I just want to be able to help you somehow on how I have been able to live my spiritual life, becoming awakened to my true potentials in my true self. And I hope this can help you. I want to tell you that I love you all. God bless you, and have a blessed day.